everybody's aware Dean Kremer is making a start for us today, and we're excited to watch him pitch in his debut this afternoon.
Cool. We can go into questions. First up is Rock Kabako.
Brandon, what were you hearing about Dean over at the alternate campsite? And realistically, what do you hope to get out of him today in his first major league start?
Well, he's been throwing the ball well in our secondary site in Bowie. Built up as a starter. He's thrown quite a few pitches in his last outing, so I'm going to let him go. But yeah, I mean, I like the way he threw in spring training. I like his stuff. I like the pitch mix that he has. He's got a starter arsenal with 4 pitches. Knows how to pitch, can strike people out. I like the off-speed stuff. So excited to hand the ball to him to make his debut. It's a day he'll never forget and a special day for him, and just want him to have fun and enjoy it.
Melanie Newman.
Brandon, would you happen to know if 64 for Kremer is of any significance, or is it just that was his spring number and it's just a number for him?
I have no idea. I didn't even know he's wearing 64. Sorry.
That's okay.
Next up, Dan Connolly.
Sorry, Brandon. Obviously today is the 25th anniversary of 2131, and people talk about Cal and whether that will ever happen again. But from your standpoint as a manager, if you had a guy who was a 21-year-old, well thought of young player, is there any way you could see a situation where you would put him in and not sit him? I mean, because one of the most amazing parts about the streak is it started when he was 21 years old. And he played that entire rookie year from May until the end of September, playing every single game. Would that even happen any more for a manager? Could you see a scenario where you would be able to do that?
I think for a year, seeing guys play every game early on in their career for a year or two, but what he did, that's mind-boggling. We're trying to get through a 2-month season. We're having a hard time staying on the field for a 2-month season. I'm trying to give guys breaks, and we're playing with strained quads and hamstrings and all kinds of sorts of things. I can't even imagine what that's like, and that'll never be duplicated again. So no, I mean, I think that I could see it short term, very, very short term, but not over a period of close to the period of time that Cal did an amazing feat.
John Mioli.
Brandon, what made now the time for Dean Kremer to get his debut? And on the flip side, what was the reason for taking Asher out of the rotation?
Took Asher out of the rotation because we'd like to see Dean get some starts this last month of the season. Asher's still going to be in a swing role. I think a lot can still happen here the next few weeks. So I wouldn't totally dismiss him not making any more starts the rest of the year. I think that there's going to be opportunity to make more starts possibly. But right now we wanted to, Dean is on regular rest. We wanted Dean to make this start. We want to see what he can do in September this year. And we're excited the way he's been throwing the ball in Bowie, and looking forward to him finishing the year here and making some starts for us.
Next up, Rich Dubroff.
Brandon, last month before you put Iglesias on the injured list, you said that his injury, the quad, was something that had to be managed. Now, sometimes he's DH and sometimes he's playing shortstop. Are you still going with that mindset that the quad has to be minded after careful?
I think Jose Iglesias has been an incredible. What he's playing through is, I give him a ton of credit. This is something that we are going to manage the rest of the year. This is something that if it was over a course of a full season, I think that he'd have to take some significant time off. But because we're in this short sprint season and what he means to our team, and he knows what he means to our club, he wants to be around. He wants to be in the lineup as much as possible. So this is, I think that there would be a lot of players that would cash in, and Iggy has been an ultimate pro, and I give him a ton of credit for playing with, something that's that's bothering him, that he needs rest to recover from it. And so I talk to him every day. We kind of we go through the next few days of how we're going to manage it. And then we communicate on a daily basis, and he's always upfront and honest with me, and he wants to be in there as much as he possibly can. And I want him in there. We're a totally different team with him in there. So we're just going to continue this mindset throughout the rest of the season. But what he's doing, I think, is it's a great example for our young players too, of really, really showing a grind mindset of getting through a season banged up.
Next up, Mark Viviano.
Hey, Brandon, when your team and especially your young guys have success against a contender like the Yankees, against top flight, high dollar pitching, whatnot, is it overstating it to say there's more meaning to that, especially for the young guys, or is it just another major league team and another major league opponent?
Well, I think it's another major league team, another major league opponent, but I think you get better by playing against good clubs. And playing against the American League East and National League East this year, we're playing some of the best teams in the game, the hardest schedule in the game. It's a night in, night out playoff opponent. And our guys are just going to improve by playing against really, really good clubs and facing the pitching that we face night in, night out. Our pitchers facing the lineups they're facing playoff lineups on a nightly basis, and that's just only going to make us better. So for the experience that our guys are getting, competing, I mean, we've been in so many games this year. It's only been a few games I could think of where we didn't have a chance to win at some point throughout the game, middle part of the game. So I think this has been an amazing experience for a lot of our guys. We're going to continue to push and continue to play hard and continue to compete the rest of the way against, we got Mets, Yankees, Braves, Tampa, next 4 series. So it doesn't get any easier, and I think it's really cool. I love playing against the good teams.
Back to John Mioli.
Brandon, do you know what the plan is for Carson Fulmer once he arrives?
You still got to go through intake and all this stuff, so not really.
And as a follow-up, Nunez wasn't in there yesterday. Was that hamstring related?
Yeah. He's day-to-day. He's day-to-day right now, yeah. We have about 20 guys that are day-to-day.
We all are.
Yeah, everybody is.
Next up, Steve Molesky.
Brandon, when Andy McPhail was here, he would often say it's better to bring up a prospect a month too late than a month too soon. In the respects of guys like Aiken and Mountcastle, do you believe some of that was in play, and the finishing off of the development, the cleaning up of the final things helped them perform well?
I do. I think that you never know exactly when the right time, because you just don't know how players are going to respond to getting to the big leagues. I think that you take into account a lot of things. We felt like there was areas in, Ryan's, Keegan, now Dean, areas in their game where they needed to improve, and wanted to see them work on some things before they got to the big leagues. And all 3 of those guys have done that. I think you see what Keegan, with the aggressiveness in the strike zone, the off-speed stuff, he's landing for strikes. That's something that he took into account after spring training and really improved. Ryan with his defense as well as his strike zone management, that has come into play big time, and that's marked improvement over the past year. So I'm excited about all 3 of these guys. I think that I think it's hard to be patient, but sometimes you have to be a little bit, because you want to see youth and you want to see the prospects play, but it's never an easy decision when the right time is. But I feel like we did a nice job in picking the timing on our prospects.
Back to Rich Dubroff for a follow-up.
Brandon, speaking of guys who are day-to-day, is Cedric Mullins one of them? Because I noticed you didn't put him in for defense last night.
Day-to-day.